Makes me feel this way. You got me smiling like I'm a child again. Like I am back in grade school. You got me feeling good.
And just the thought of welcome to 13.7 News. I am Richard Riffle.
And I am Ryan Riffle. We're going to bring you news tomorrow, today.
Now today's topic will be the Theories Project.
Wait, hold on. You want to take this mic and move it over a little bit? I'm like, what's so far away? No, this mic right here. Right here in front of you.
The four theories are behavioral learning theory, information processing theory, social cognitive theory, and the constructivist learning theory.
That's all me. Move it back this way a little bit.
Oh my gosh, so picky.
Keep going. Right?
Right there?
A little more. First on the agenda is behavioral learning theory.
Hey Ryan, did you know that in 1960, behavior theories dominated the psychology of learning?
And they still offer many ideas for classroom teachers.
What do you know? Huh? Some of these operant conditionings, which is a voluntary response, strengthens or weakens the consequences that follow.
For example,
a rat finds a bar in its environment, so it starts pushing it down, and food starts coming out. And the more food that comes out, he's like, oh, I'll push the bar and get more food.
But if he pushes the bar and no food comes out, then the behavior stops.
Positive reinforcement is strengthens a target behavior by presenting a positive reinforcer after the behavior occurs.
Nailed it. You do something good, you get rewards for it. And that makes you want to keep doing that good behavior.
And this brings us to the YouTube video of the week. Negative reinforcement strengthens a target behavior by removing a stimulus. The reason you start to clean your room is because you want your parents to stop nagging you about it. Son, go clean your room.
No.
Clean your room.
No.
Clean your room.
No.
I said go clean your room.
Fine. It's not even that dirty anyway. For this next part, Richard's not telling me what we're doing and I'm winging it.
One form of punishment is a timeout. Have you been put in timeout before, Ryan?
Yes.
Yes. It's embarrassing to put a hat in your head.
Yes.
Not a cat, a hat.
Yes.
I was just making sure you understood that. Now, tell me what extinction is.
Extinction is when the dinosaurs got lost in the boom.
That is not the kind of extinction I'm talking about. This is when you have your kid sit there and he's acting out in class, so you just completely ignore him. What do you think about that?
I think it sucks.
You just ignore him. You don't talk to him. You're just like, okay, I'm going to keep those kids. He's just going to keep rolling around the floor until he stops.
He must have deserved to be put there.
On the floor? And this brings us to a man named Skinner. And Skinner, you're the best in the world. And that man had this idea. This one. Ryan, tell me something. What do you think about computer-based technology as an aid or a tool for learning? You know what, Richard? I think that's a fantastic idea. I mean, could you imagine if you did a video for a class project, how easy it is for people to visualize and to learn? I mean, come on, let's be real here. That is an easy A. So yes, Richard, I think that is a marvelous, marvelous idea. You know, I happen to agree with you, Ryan. Happen to agree. Skinner and his followers perfected different techniques of operant conditioning. These things were shaping classroom behaviors, reflecting the target behaviors, selecting potential reinforces, and reinforcing the newly established target behavior each time it occurs. The Premack principle is by a guy named David Premack, who is successful in reducing disruptive behavior while increasing academic performance. It's simple. You do the work, you get the reward. You know what I'm saying?
Token economies.
This is like, Ryan, you did a good job saying that line and it took you 10 minutes, so now you can go outside and play for 20 minutes. A lot of teachers give you a star if you do something good. Right, you remember those days that you'd get marks and if everybody got good marks, you would get like a party day? Yes. Yeah, it's a pizza party. And now we're gonna jump ship for just a little bit over to our fellow anchoresses, Sarah and Cassie, where they're gonna talk about information processing theory. Sarah and Cassie, over to you guys.
Thank you, Richard.
We're going to give you the latest news on information processing theory.
How do you acquire new info?
How do you store that info?
How do you recall information from memory? Let's ask Sarah for some answers. Can you tell our audience what information processing theory really is?
It's how you store, recognize, transform, and retrieve information.
It's how your brain processes all this information. Now we're going to have you practice. Here's a model of information processing. As we explain this to you, it is your job to memorize this chart. At the end, we'll see how good your short-term memory really is.
In your short-term memory, you should be able to hold 7 bits of unrelated information for about 20 seconds.
You will want to make sure you store this in your long-term memory. Your brain is a permanent storehouse and has unlimited capacity to hold things. And we just got a call in from Dr. Payne. He wanted us to inform all of our viewers this will be on your midterm exam.
Engage power news.
And your short-term memories.
Sensory registers when stimuli is held briefly as possible for processing.
Recognition is noting key features and relating them to stored information.
Attention is when you're focusing on a portion of currently available information.
Maintenance rehearsal holds information for immediate use.
Elaborative rehearsal uses stored information to aid your learning.
Organizing material reduces number of chunks and provides recall cues.
And finally, meaningful learning occurs when organized material is associated with stored knowledge.
Whew! That was tiring. Now let's see how well all your brain stored this information. You have 30 seconds to fill in the blank chart the best you can.
Now for some tips and tricks on how to apply the information processing theory.
This is important for all you future teachers out there, but it can also help you college students with studying all this massive amounts of information you're given. So let's ask Sarah for some more answers. How much do students actually learn while they're in school?
Well, if teachers emphasize and challenge their students to master their subjects and give them plenty of opportunities to be active learners, students actually remember much of what they learned in school.
Okay, but what about those troublemaking kids or students who get bored really easily?
This varies a lot with different teachers and different kinds of students, but attention spans can be increased with practice. And teachers can provide tools and change up lesson plans to aid in this practice.
I think what we all would like to know is, what are some studying tips for teachers and students to know about information processing theory?
Well, distributed practice is part of the information processing theory, and it emphasizes short study sessions at frequent intervals. There's also concrete analogies that can help us learn. This is making information meaningful for ourselves. And a fun fact, the serial position effect is when we have a tendency to remember items at the beginning and end of a long list.
Whoa, but this is a lot of information. How do we figure out what works for us?
There's a term for that too. It's called metacognition. It's our own knowledge of how we think. And don't worry, insight in your own learning improves with age. That's why old people are so wise. Now, back to you, Richard!
Thank you, girls. And now we're going to take the audience, that's you, over to a little skit for some constructivist learning theory. Take it away.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? That Dr. Payne is the best professor at Corbin?
I wasn't thinking that.
Me neither.
Well, that too, but I was thinking about constructivist learning theory.
That's an easy topic. Basically, constructivism is creating a personal interpretation of personal experience one has and expanding it from other people's ideas and theories. So, what does this look like in the classroom? Well, teachers, what you can do is you can create debates and small group discussions to get your students actively engaged and socially so that they could talk with their peers and come up with other viewpoints. So teachers, this is what you can do in your classroom to create constructivism. First of all, you could create debates that help your students to see other viewpoints, and then it will gather information from other sides and then store it in their long-term memory. Let's take a couple examples in the classroom to see how this looks.
So for our test, we have to know about the Oregon Trail. All that I really know is I played that Oregon Trail game one time and a lot of people died, and especially from rattlesnakes.
I played that game too, and I found out that it was over 2,000 miles long.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Mormons had their own separate trail. So like most of the people that came out of Missouri weren't Mormons.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What else?
What else do we know about Oregon?
Yeah, what else do we know about
Oregon? We live in Oregon.
We do live in Oregon.
Today's Oregon's birthday. Oregon's 154 years old today.
Oh my gosh, and this is when the first people came to Oregon.
Yeah, and it was still a territory then. It wasn't even a state.
So, what do we have here? We have a whole heck of a lot of information that from these two people that are coming together to create new information for each one of them. So, we take someone's information and then someone else's information, and they both now know new information.
So, question. If you were to go right now to Dutch Bros or Starbucks, which one would it be?
It would be definitely Starbucks, without a doubt.
Starbucks?
Yeah, it would. It's got the better coffee, and like it started in Seattle, which is close to where I came from, and it's just all around better coffee.
But Dutch Bros, they have the nicest baristas. You can just drive there really quick, spontaneous at night before you study. They have like the nicest punch cards, and sometimes you get extra punches or a pink straw.
The fact that they're open like 24 hours a day is really tempting, because I know like sometimes it'll be like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'll be like, I just want a coffee so bad, but Starbucks isn't open. So, you know, maybe I'll start a Dutch Bros like punch card. It'd be good. Yeah, we should go get a coffee.
We should. And I know I actually have a Starbucks gift card, so
yeah,
that would be good. And
nice.
you know what? Starbucks has, I mean, I guess it's not as, you don't get pink straws, but there's a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, it's definitely got the coffee
We could
shop
study
vibe.
together.
Yeah, let's do that sometime.
Yeah.
So, what we have here is two lovely ladies debating over their favorite coffees. They both have their personal experiences at different places and different opinions. However, they listen to each other and they come to terms with agreements, and then they have new knowledge about each coffee place. So that is the constructivist theory for you.
Wow, that was a good piece of skit right there. And now we take you over to our last theory, social cognitive theory. Girls, take it away for your final time on television.
So the social cognitive theory is based on the idea that spontaneous behavior or reinforcement isn't necessary for learning to happen. It can happen through observing and imitating a model.
How does that work?
The triadic reciprocal causation model explains it well. It shows that someone's personal characteristics, behavior, and social environment, these are the three that put the tri in triadic, affect each other reciprocally to cause learning to occur. A person's behavior is always the result of the triadic processes interacting.
Doesn't that put a lot of pressure on the student?
Yeah. This theory bases itself largely on self-control, self-regulation, and self-efficacy.
What?
Those terms are pretty self-explanatory. Get it? Yeah? Okay. Self-control means controlling one's behaviors in a setting that is absent from other reinforcement or punishment, where self-regulation is using self-control skills that have been learned and applying them to new situations. And self-efficacy is how capable one feels of handling a particular task. Can I just do that again?
Yeah.
Self-efficacy is how capable one feels to handle a particular task.
So self-efficacy is just feelings?
Pretty much.
Does this play a big role in the theory?
Absolutely. Self-efficacy affects selection processes, cognitive processes, motivational processes, and affective processes. It's also affected by performance accomplishments, verbal persuasion, emotional fluxes, and other vicarious experiences.
Oh, so this is pretty much a self-regulated system.
Yep, and this self-regulatory system includes these components: forethought processes, which happen before, performance processes, which happen during, and self-reflection processes that occur after.
So what happens so what happens during these processes?
I am glad you asked. Forethought is the phase where goal setting and strategizing take place. Self-efficacy plays in here, and certain epistemological beliefs also affect learning. In the performance phase, self-control is needed to see the tasks through and process the information meaningfully. And in some cases, self-recording and self-experimentation are used during the self-observation process. In the last phase, self-reflection, self-evaluation makes attributions to success or failure, and in casual attributions, reinforcement occurs based only on the self-satisfaction that the job is completed.
Oh, so is there anything else I need to know about social cognitive theory?
Nope. That's it, as long as you remember that the social cognitive theory is all about observation and applying it through imitation, as well as the importance of self-control, self-regulation, and self-efficacy, you should be okay.
Awesome. Any chance we can review?
Definitely. I made a worksheet just in case you'd ask. Yay!
Welcome back! Today we have learned about 4 theories: behavioral theory, social cognitive theory, information processing theory, and constructivist learning theory.
This is the end of our video, but we really thank you for watching 13.7 News.
I am Richard Riffle.
And I am Ryan Riffle. We're bringing you news tomorrow, today.
Thank you and good night. Hit it, Dr. Payne!
Like I am back in grade school. You got me feeling brand new. Can't just
Hey Ryan, did you know Hey Ryan, did you know that in dang it, the world dang it, the world sorry, that was my fault.